In this video, we are going to look at another application of the production possibilities frontier. So we are given the production possibilities frontier for Brazil. Notice that we have on the x-axis peanuts and on the y-axis cashews. So Brazil is producing a combination of these two goods, and this black line shows you the production possibilities frontier. This is the production possibilities frontier, and this is showing you the combination of peanuts and cashews that can be produced using the given resources and technology in Brazil. Okay, so any point that falls on the frontier is going to be efficient and possible. Of course, because this is a production possibilities frontier. Okay, and any point that is to the right of the production possibilities frontier is not going to be feasible. So it's infeasible because it requires more resources and better technology, perhaps, to produce that. Okay, so we have these infeasible points, and if we were operating inside that triangle, then this triangle here, then all of these points are possible but inefficient. Okay, so that's sort of the recap on the tools you'll need to solve this question. So let's take a look at the question. It says, if the production possibilities frontier shown is for 2 months of production, then which of the following combinations of peanuts and cashews could Brazil not produce in 2 months? So you're given a few options here, and we want to find out which one of those points lies outside the frontier. Okay. So let's start by looking at what do we need to solve the question. So one thing that we could do is figure out what is the equation of the production possibilities frontier itself. And we can do that by using the x and the y intercept. So here the x-intercept is 8, 0. This is the x-intercept, that's 8, 0. And the y-intercept is 0, 240. Which is basically saying that either Brazil could produce 8 peanuts and 0 cashews, or Brazil could produce 0 peanuts and 240 cashews. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down the equation of a straight line, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So if we want to find out what the slope is given by y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You're given 2 points. I'm going to take, this is my x2, y2, and this is my x1, y1. And if you want to solve for this, you can plug in the points. This is 240 minus 0. It's nice to have zeros, easy to work with, and 0 minus 8, which gives us negative 30 over 1. This change in y over change in x. That's what the slope is of the production possibilities frontier. And here y is cashews and x is peanuts. So what we're saying is change in cashews over change in peanuts equals negative 30 over 1. In other words, we can say that in order to produce one peanut, we should be giving up 30 cashews. So that takes us to the equation of the production possibilities frontier, which is y equals mx plus b, you can write this as y equals negative 30. I'm substituting in the slope here, x plus the y-intercept, which if you look at the graph, it's 240. So this is the equation of the production possibilities frontier. And now we can proceed and answer the question. Let's take a look at how would we see if 5 peanuts and 88 cashews, 5 peanuts and 88 cashews is something that Brazil can or cannot produce. So when we know the equation, this is the production possibilities frontier, we can ask ourselves if Brazil produces 5 peanuts, what is the maximum number of cashews it can produce? So all we really need to do is substitute in 5 peanuts, which is our x, into this line and find out y. So y equals negative 30 times 5 plus 240, which equals 90. So this is 90 cashews. So we're saying that if Brazil produces 5 peanuts, it can produce 90 cashews. And the question is asking you, can Brazil not produce 5 peanuts and 88 cashews? So in other words, we can say that if Brazil can produce 5 peanuts and 90 cashews, it can obviously produce 5 peanuts and 88 cashews, right? 88 is less than 90. So this 5 peanuts and 88 cashews is probably going to be somewhere inside. It's going to be somewhere in this area, okay? Because we could still produce 2 more cashews. We could be at 90 cashews, and we're not. Next, we have 4 peanuts and 115 cashews. We want to find out if Brazil produces 4 peanuts, how many cashews can it produce? Again, we substitute this in. And so we're saying that if Brazil produces 4 peanuts, it can then produce 120 cashews. So if 120 cashews is possible, then 115 cashews is obviously possible. So the answer cannot be B. Let's take a look at C. 3 peanuts and 155 cashews. So for this, we are going to substitute in 3 peanuts. Now we're saying that if Brazil were to produce 3 peanuts, it can produce a maximum of 150 cashews. And so the question is asking us, can Brazil produce 3 peanuts and 155 cashews? The answer is no, it cannot produce this. So C would be the answer. And just because we are going with the flow, we can take a look at the last combination, which is 1 peanut and 200 cashews. And we can find out what y is. So 1 peanut and 210 cashews lies on the frontier. So 1 peanut and 200 cashews would lie inside the triangle. So A, B, and D are points that are possible, and C is a point or combination that Brazil cannot produce.